After my original camper build video, I had some requests asking for more details on the retractable step. In this video, I'll explain how I built it and why. For the first camping season with our converted cargo trailer, I threw together a crude set of wooden steps out of some scrap wood. While these worked perfectly well, they took up way too much room in the bed of my truck. That space could be better used by bicycles, coolers, and other supplies. So for our second camping season, I set out to attach a step, or steps, to the trailer instead. Most of the typical camper steps that I researched were either too tall for the lower ride height of a cargo trailer, too wide to stay within the width of the trailer, too expensive, not suited to mounting to the trailer frame, or some combination of the above. After giving up on purchasing something pre-made, I set out to fabricate one. This trailer is considered a 7x12, so the cargo box is 7 feet wide. The fenders and tires are entirely outside of the box, but within the 8.5 foot width limit for trailers. The step needed to fit within the width of the fenders while driving down the road. However, that only allowed for about 9 inches of step extending from the side of the trailer. I wanted a wider landing when actually camping to make entering and leaving the camper more comfortable. So I decided on a sliding step design that could be locked in a narrow transport position and also moved out to a more comfortable position for entering and exiting the camper once parked. For the step, I purchased a galvanized steel stair tread. It measures 36 inches wide by 12 inches deep. I welded 2 lengths of 2-inch square steel tubing to the inboard edge. Each piece was roughly 14 inches long. The piece that would be toward the front of the trailer had 2 5/8-inch holes drilled in it, 7 inches apart. To create the trailer side of the assembly, I started with a 12-inch long, weld-on receiver hitch tube from a local farm supply store. This was then cut into 2 6-inch long pieces. For the rear socket, a simple piece of 2-inch square tubing was welded on top of the receiver tube to space it down from the frame of the trailer. For the forward socket, a similar piece of tubing was welded on top. Then I welded on this spring latch assembly I purchased from Amazon. I'll include a link in the description below. The spring latch has a 1/2 inch pin, a fairly strong spring, a pull loop, and a notch that allows the pin to be held in the open position. This was centered over the hole in the front side of the receiver tube and welded on. With the 2 sockets slid onto the step tread tubes, I positioned the step in place under the trailer with an expensive, high-tech, although not flame-resistant, support fixture. With things positioned where I wanted them to be, I welded the spacer tubes to the frame of the trailer. With the latch pin pulled open, the step can be slid in and out to either transport or camping widths. I pull the latch pin and lock it open, slide the step a little bit, then release the spring-loaded latch. With the spring pushing on that pin, I can continue to slide the step until it pops into the next hole, locking it in place. I used CAD models for this video because it was difficult to get good photos or video underneath the trailer. I was also embarrassed to show that I never got around to painting the non-galvanized parts of this assembly, and they have rusted some. Even with some rust, the steps slid in and out just fine after over a year and a half of sitting unused. I should probably add painting them back to the to-do list. I hope you enjoyed this short video explaining my sliding camper step. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If I left something out, feel free to ask in the comments. Thanks for watching.